So I want to give you guys the background for this lecture. A couple of years ago, I transitioned to a new position in the HP Big Data Group. At that time, I was the R&D manager for Mobile Platform Group, and I decided to enter the business side as a product manager in the field of big data. And that was quite a change for me. Not only from R&D to product, but also from mobility to R&D. And really, I decided to actually start researching the new problem domain I was entering to. And I did it using both internal and external data sources as well. And unfortunately, I encountered a lot of problems trying to find what I wanted. So really here I actually want to share with you guys that throughout the years, working on numerous enterprise products, my team and I gained a lot of interesting insights. Hopefully, you will find at least some of it interesting. Enterprise search is not simply site search. There are a lot of differences. And I want to give you guys some examples to those differences. So let's start with the relevance of search results. Users in the consumer search market have different needs than enterprise search users. The tools for actually measuring the relevance of it are actually totally different. The relevance in the consumer search world is mainly about traffic and uses tools such as cookies and search history. While in the enterprise search world, we mostly set it based on business context. So let me give you guys some examples to that. We mostly in the enterprise search world use profiling. More about profiling in means of your role, meaning you will get results with higher weights, which are more relevant to your current role. So in our enterprise search platform, we use what we call expert profiles and interest profiles, which are created for users in real time. Interest profiles are created by tracking the content that the user actually sees and reacts to. You can use interest profiles in order to target or recommend new content for end users. Expert profiles are created by tracking the content that the user actually creates and then extracting the conceptual understanding of it. You can use expert profiles in order to trace the users who are experts in a specific field. So let's say you're looking for content in a specific field. You will get a list of experts who worked on similar content before, maybe created relevant documents, or even answered questions in forums. Another major difference that we have here is the way we promote content. So really, sometimes we want to augment or override the search results by creating promotions to relevant content. So usually when we do it in the consumer search world, it is mostly for the purpose of presenting ads or paid content or even create promotions to relevant content. In the enterprise search world, however, we do it mostly for the purpose around the real business, the real employee's real business value. So one of the companies working with us is a law firm who had actually a fascinating use case around promotions or search results augmentation, we can call it that way. They seem to have a lot of data around cases they worked and are working on, and they really wanted their search to be efficient. It seems like the users are spending a lot of time trying to find the content they wanted, and they really wanted the tool to actually solve this problem. So let's say a lawyer is actually searching for information about a specific case, and he's spending a lot of time trying to find the real valuable documents. So once finding it, these documents can simply be promoted and configured to be triggered by some specific keyword. So in this example, the name of the case, so that other users looking for that specific case will get these valuable documents in the top of their search results without having to spend a lot of time trying to find information about it. We actually have a nice demo for that in our demo booth, so you're more than welcome to come and see. But this is a classic example for the usage of promotions in the enterprise world, which is totally different than the consumer world. So now that we understand that these two worlds are totally different, what can we do here? the key takeaway is that the modeling of data in the enterprise search world should be more about the user's business role, meaning the context should be based more on role rather than on behavior. Use more profiling tools, such as the interest and expert profiles I mentioned. Your enterprise data is just not enough. After talking to many companies working with us, we have found that many are not taking advantage of some of the true opportunities in the world of big data. So we think that the real value should come from combining data from multiple data sources, both internal on-premise and external off-premise. This is actually the key of getting the real valuable insights. So we had a nice case study a couple of months ago, which I want to share with you guys. So let's say the target is a bank. And our mission here is to actually think out of the box in order to create and get new insights, which were never exposed before, in order to create a new experience for the end users. So from one end, we had all of these banks' huge internal data. So these are client profiles, transactions, such as credit card charges, and more. From the other hand, we had all of this unused public data, such as tweets and posts with the bank's specific hashtag. When we started thinking about ways to combine this data from multiple sources, we came up with a lot of interesting use cases. So let's take an example. Let's say one of the bank's users' tweets and posts recently are more about pregnancy. Also, credit card charges analysis showed an obvious pattern around the purchase of baby-related products, such as a crib and maybe medical tests. So, also we know that statistics show that an arrival of a new baby makes people think more about upgrading their car. So maybe towards the late stages of the pregnancy, we can even offer car loans. Or maybe we can even offer targeted deals for the husband as well. Another interesting case study we had was for the gaming industry. Our mission here was to actually think out of the box again in order to identify customer churn trends and handle it in real time. So again, also what we did here was to combine data from multiple data sources, both internal and external. And really, you can identify customer churn trends by tracking tweets and posts with the bank's with the specific game hashtags, and then performing sentiment analysis on top of it. Once you identify it, you can even offer in-app free content or other attractive deals. So, what's the key takeaway here? So, really, the key message here is to actually not only concentrate on the data you own, but also on data which relies outside of the organization. Secondly, once you have this data, try to combine this data from multiple data sources and cross-references in order to get more insights and better value for our customers, like in the examples, in the use cases I talked. So, another interesting one is be cautious of data blindness. So there are cases that you really need to find the needle in the haystack. And sometimes it's hard, really hard. We live in an age of data overload, and we all know that. But another factor which might make our lives much harder in that sense comes from an unexpected place. For search optimization, we use tools such as profiling, context-based search, automatic relevance. But while these tools are aimed to make our lives much easier in the sense of supporting the common scenarios, sometimes there are scenarios where I really want to find the uncommon data. And by over-profiling, it might be very well hidden for me. So let me clarify this point with an example. So let's say I'm a lawyer and I work in a patents office. So my day-to-day job involves documenting, filing, and tracking patents. So when I search for something, I get results for the common case, which is great. Results with a list of patents in the field that I search for. But from time to time, I need to deal with patents infringement. And maybe in rare cases, I really need to perform an investigation of technology-based patents. So this means that I need to get information from maybe from tech-related sources, but due to over-profiling, these results might be at the bottom of the search results, which might be very well hidden for me. So really, my advice here is to actually at least consider offering an option of disabling, in the enterprise search tool, offer an option to disable the tools, the features for search optimization and profiling. In our admin UI, we offered an option that is called show unmodified results. This way, the users, or in this case, the admin, is able to see the raw search results without all of the modifications. So while I do support profiling, as I mentioned in the first bullet, this is a very important tool, I do think we should beware of over-profiling and over-optimization, or at least offer a way to get out of it. So let's recap. Enterprise search, as I said, is totally different than site search. We use different tools there. The way that we use it are different, like promotions and search relevance. Once we understand these differences, we need to understand it and actually offer the right tools for end users in enterprise search, such as basing the context on the user role and profiling like the expert and interest profiles I mentioned. Your enterprise data is not enough. As we know, mostly organizations today are mostly using internal data, and the real value can come from combining data from multiple data sources in order to get a better value for the customers. And last but not least, be cautious of data blindness. And again, while profiling is an important tool, we still need to at least offer a way to get out of it and at least to support the uncommon case as well. And this was exactly my problem when I transitioned to a new position. And I searched for information in my new domain. I kept on getting results which were relevant to my old profile, and I really needed a way to get out of it. So as I mentioned, today I had the product in HPE Big Data Organization, which offers both off-premise and on-premise enterprise search tools, such as IDLE and Haven on Demand. You're more than welcome to stop by our booth to actually learn more. Thanks for listening.